Yo, welcome everyone, Sanju here. So welcome back to the channel, and of course, this evening, tonight, we'll be tackling Black Clover episode 159, the second episode of the time skip. Of course, last week we started with 158 naturally, and it was a good experience finally catching up to the Black Clover anime just in time for the time skip. For those of you who've talked to me like over like live stream and stuff recently, you know I've been constantly like 20 episodes behind for the longest while, but with the time skip coming up, I said, you know, let's binge through, and here we are. So of course, let's see what happened with chapter 100, episode 159. I did reread the chapters this episode should be based on, so I'm looking forward to see the quality of life additions, which is the main thing I'm looking forward to, or looking out for with these episodes. That and, you know, the animation art, all that jazz and blues. So yeah, but anyway, thanks for tuning in. Of course, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe, leave a like, share this video, let me know what you think about my reaction and my thoughts on the episode, and of course, you know, something. Let's get right into it. Alright. Ooh, so basically this is a new intro. Interesting. Alright. I'd love to hear that in English when it comes to the time skip. I don't know what I'm doing there. Yo. Hey, Manalai, I have rinsed this opening probably a million times by this point. I know that my initial reaction was I liked it, but right now, love it. Quite like some first shadows. I literally think that was the name of the chapter. Anyway, did you guys see that? No, hold on. Come on. Why is luck? Why is luck like posing off? Like seriously, come on, dad. You know, my only problem with this part of the Spade Kingdom arc when I was reading in the manga was it really seemed like the Clover Kingdom was so detached from this in this initial section at least. But seriously, a wild charming. Yo. Okay, that looked weird. Seriously? Okay, so this wasn't in the manga. The drama, no. Top of his head. Dang. Dang. Voila, the wagwan. We understand. Yeah. I never given it a thought before. Alright, that was nice. That was nice. So I don't understand. The belly is undefeated. It's just a laugh in the distance. Shadow. Pleasantly plump. Seriously. Oh boy. Alright, so that was episode 159 of the Black Clover anime. It's another decent addition. Of course, given how strongly episode 158, the first episode of the time skip, started, and kind of, you know, cross-referencing and checking it back with the chapters I read today before actually coming home, I realized that 158 covered about 3 chapters. So if my memory is working right, this episode seems to have covered probably about 2 chapters, if I'm not mistaken, which would explain the higher quantity of, you know, canon filler being added to this episode, which I didn't have a problem with for the most part. So the scene there was the scene when they were fighting against Charmy, that was extended a lot compared to the manga, as well as the bathing scene between the girls. But I think they took out alright, first of all, the conversation about who's dating Asta, I don't think that was in the manga. That, and there was one touchy-feely scene that they took out from the manga, which I was kind of hoping that we'd get in this episode, but we didn't get for some reason. I don't know if it's censorship, but hey, I'm pretty sure a lot of persons who read the manga were actually looking forward to seeing that animated, but that I got enough points deducted from the episode because I'm not just didn't include that, honestly. But no, seriously. But for the most part, given that, as I've probably said before, the anime is still pretty close to the manga. It's just about 50 less than 50 chapters behind at this point. So when they adapt 3 episodes for the last episode, it makes sense that this episode feels a bit more slower paced for the most part, but it's not a mark against the episode. I still thought it was good. The Charmy scene for me kind of dragged on too long, but I did like the scene with, you know, talking about who's dating Asta. That felt a bit more natural and organic, given the nature of those characters, and I guess the mischievous nature of Undine. So I liked it for the most part. The art and animation, for the most part, it's not a like high intensity crazy episode, so obviously we went back down a notch. I think the parts animation wise that seemed really odd to me was the part when Asta left the Heart Kingdom Palace to fly off, and the effect of the sonic boom they were trying to make, that just looked really odd to me. But I don't know if it's just me, so there's that. But apart from that, narrative wise, of course, our forces are our heroes, quote unquote, are kind of recouping. We're kind of get to see more into the character of Laura Pachica, of course, which is good because obviously we kind of got a lot. We kind of went face first into it really fast when it came to the Heart Kingdom, and then over the course of the canon filler, we didn't get much of her. So of course, these sections really kind of speak more into her. It does well in humanizing Laura Pachica, if you ask me. So this is the start of it, and manga readers, we know that there's more to come in terms of humanizing her character. So there's that. Now, of course, I would say the big the big reveal in this episode is Yuno's true origin as the prince of the Spade Kingdom. Now, personally, it wasn't something I kind of considered before learning about it when I was reading the manga. But I've been watching some other persons who cover Black Clover, and like for the first time, that is, and they were able to, like, you know, deduce that, you know, Yuno's just too skilled not to be royalty. And in retrospect, I probably should have realized and suspected it too. It was, in retrospect, kind of obvious when you really meant it. So there's that. But I would imagine anime only watchers are wondering how this is going to affect things going forward. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but even with the manga right now, I think it's still an interesting dynamic in terms of, I wouldn't say conflict, but it's an interesting development to see how Tabata is going to explore it, you know, reconciling things between, yo, I'm a person, I'm a magic knight of the Clover Kingdom, but my true origin is the Spade Kingdom. So it's going to be interesting to see how that's going to go at the end of the day. So there's that. But all in all, I thought it was an alright episode, nothing too crazy. Did some nice narrative moves regarding, you know, character, you know, I wouldn't say development, but just at least showcasing and revealing more about Laura Pachika. It did showcase more of, you know, some canon filler scenes, which helped with the slow down the pacing just to make sure that we get a nice adaptation of the Spade Kingdom arc up to a certain point. We can't be rushing into it, because I was thinking that, yo, if we go at the pace that episode 158 was going, by the time we reach 10 episodes into the arc, we'd already be into the events of chapters like 260, late 260s, early 270s, which would be very fast. So that's definitely not going to work. Not going to work if you ask me. So expect a lot of canon filler, a lot of things to pad out the episode. So it's kind of like the Boruto situation. It just can't be helped. So let's see how they handle it. I still say there are some pockets of time which are ripe for natural expansion, so it's going to be interesting to see how they handle that at the end of the day. And of course, the reveal with Yuno being the prince of the Spade Kingdom, which could potentially shake up the whole arc at some point. Maybe soon, maybe late, we never know, because even manga wise, I would say we're not completely sure just yet in terms of how that plot point is going to, you know, boil down in terms of how it's going to affect Yuno. Even though, given Yuno, he might just say, okay, I'll visit every once in a while, and, you know, but I'm really, the Clover Kingdom's my home. So more than that, that's going to happen. But anyway, let me know what you thought about the episode. And of course, if you're new here, again, be sure to subscribe, like, share, subscribe, yada yada, all that YouTube jazz and blues. We're on our way to 20,000 subscribers. So yeah, road to 20,000 by the end of 2021. Sanju Uchiha, thanks for tuning in if you made it this far. Hope you're having a great Tuesday night, and I'll see you in the next Black Clover anime reaction.